So I don't know if this is okay. I suppose it is. Yes, it is. So let me see. Yes, I can hear myself. There we are. Okay. Hi everyone and welcome. We're live. It's working. As always, I'm very happy to connect with you. Whenever you are watching this, it's now, so you're already participating in the creation of this moment. And and I enjoy it and I'm very happy. Yeah, so let's get into it. Are there limits to creating our own reality? Well, let's just maybe wait. Let me also share. Yeah, it's a very interesting topic because I've noticed one thing, and it's really very interesting, is that we have degrees of understanding. So we understand things, right? We do understand the things, and we know, and yes, I know that is what it is. Yeah, and actually the thing is that we do understand, but there is more understanding awaiting us, right? There are new epiphanies, there are new discoveries, and we think that we know something, and then suddenly we know better, or we know it, and even then there is even more understanding awaiting. So it's we really cannot say. It's fascinating. There are things that I say, well, I do understand, and then suddenly I say, oh, now I understand, and then I even discover more around that, and it becomes always more and more understanding, interesting, and full of. There is so much that, and the only thing, as I said, is to admit to the self is that we do not know everything, because what we have is a human understanding, a human perspective, and the human perspective is obviously created to be limited, to have doubts, to have no proofs whatsoever about anything. Yeah. So, right. I've shared it, so now we can go into it. So, why this? So, I've this last few days, I've been putting myself into the more discovery of the self, and I've built a pyramid, and I'm meditating in it, I'm communicating with it, and now I decide to do it a daily thing. And I mean, I stay, and I wanted, especially this week, to do that, and I decided, well, in fact, I stay in until I stay in, right? It's not a matter of staying all day or doing any of that. At some moment, you know that, okay, I'm done for the moment. I'm done. So I just leave when I'm done. But so I've been going into this and self-discovering, and I'm absolutely committed to that. And what has happened is that I've started suddenly being interested into a story. First, I started with a TV show, Chinese, yes, a Chinese series. Well, it's 50 episodes, so there is only one, just one season. But the Chinese tend to have right, they do it in one shot. They have a story and they tell the story. It's 50, 80 episodes. They don't do seasons of 10 or like the Americans, right? And then they don't know the story. They do season after season, and then it doesn't make sense because there is no story actually. The Chinese have a story and tell the story in 50, 80 episodes. That's what they do. So I've watched it, and suddenly I discovered a very interesting story, but also that there is a manual. So actually the TV show is based on a novel from a woman in Chinese. Now it's being translated in English. It's really let me see. It's called The Untamed, right? Okay, no, I didn't want to do that. Sorry. It's called The Untamed, and well, I'm not going to try to tell. Okay, in Chinese, I can't tell in Chinese, but anyway, and so I'm watching the TV show. At the same moment, I'm reading the novel. Luckily for me, it's translated and it's available on a site that has translated all of it, and now Amazon is publishing it. So no, someone is publishing it, and it's available on Amazon as well. So, and then there is the manual, so the web comic, and so there is a lot of material. The story. The original story is a love story between a what they call a Chinese clan member and another man, Chinese clan member from two different clans, and then actually they realize they're in love only in the end of it. So there is nothing. They're just going on like that for a very long time. But anyway, that's not the point. So I was invested into this story, and I was watching myself invested into this story, and going through it from the perspective of the original story, and then the TV show that is Chinese TV show. So it's just a friendship in there. There is nothing. It's a friendship. They use some way to make it something more, but you have to understand. I mean, if you know, you see that there is more, but it's right. It's two men, so it's not allowed to be openly attraction or any of that. But it doesn't matter. It's still, when you know the story, it's your story still, and so you know what is really happening. And the manhwa is the same thing, because the manhwa is the one that is the most close to the original story. So there is everything is in there, and then there is also a anime. The anime is 3 seasons. They have done it's 38 episodes in the end, and it's also censored. But even there, I mean, in the end, I read that they have a marriage clause on them, so it's quite clear to do this. No, anyway, so I've watched that, so I already know the story. I've read things, and then obviously, because that is the story I'm telling, so that is what I'm relating to. But I cannot stop there. I have to watch myself watching or following this story. So I watch myself following this story and realizing in that my attachment to the story. And so I start receiving downloads and information, right? Not on the story, but on what is behind it. And so I'm today I'm in my pyramid, meditating and discussing and having information coming to me, and so I'm there, and suddenly I realize that this story that I am following there is my story. And I said, how can it be that? Well, we are exposed obviously to a lot of books, stories, romances, and, I mean, a lot of things, right? TV shows, and there are a lot of stories that are circulating and that we are seeing. What I know about that is that it's always a universe. It's always a story is not just fantasy, right? It's not something that is invented. There is always substance. There is always a reality that is sustaining the story. And if everyone and each one of us, we have a perspective. So what we receive in when we are watching or participating into anything like that is that there is something that we, right? It's something through ourselves. So we are at the same moment as we are watching, reading, we are having our own interpretation of it. So it's something that is like that. Now that this one, I understood this one is not a, it's more than only a story. It's my story. It doesn't mean that it's the story of everyone. It doesn't mean that everyone has the same story, right? Because this is my interpretation. This is what I am receiving when I am watching it. It's the way I receive it. So it's the way I relate to it. It's the way I'm interpreting it. So how do I know that that goes beyond anything else? Is what I've been told is the way I connect with it, the way I am involved with it, right? And that's where I am able to make the difference between having a other life experience relating to a story, right? Something that is told that you're seeing in a video or in a show, and suddenly it awakens something in you because it's the experience that comes back to you. So you have traumas, you have stuff, and that is what you use to awaken that. And you could use anything else, right? In this case, and I mean, it's not the exception, it's something that happens for all of us. It's that the story is clearly connecting with me in the way I relate to the whole of it, the way I connect to the beings in the story. So that awakens the memory that, and I was there and I asked, I clearly asked, so are you related to me? And the answer was no. And then I changed the question and I said, no, that's not the right question. I'm not asking the question correctly. I ask, am I you? Are you me? And the answer is yes. From the perspective of the creator, we are all of that simultaneously. So there is no separation. So I am all of those versions of me, and all of those versions of me are me, right? There is no differences between any of us. So as I realized that, I said, okay, I realized what is our relationship with our creation, because it is clear for me that what we create is a interpretation, right? We are interpreting reality. We are doing that. And everything is related to us, obviously, because we are creating our reality, and we create it based on what is inside of us, what we are. So obviously everything that we are relating to has to be, is part of us. The creator is watching the creator, right? All of this is creator. That there is no separation, there is no invention, there is no whatsoever. We are relating to it as external, right? We are externalizing things, but there is nothing outside. So every time that we are relating to reality as external, we are illusioning ourselves. We are accepting the illusion as real, right? However, when we let go of that and we start to say, no, reality, oh, I'm creating it. It's internal. It's an internal job. It's me. It's me. It's me. And I've come to a stage where every time there is anything, I'm bringing that to the self. What is that for me? Why that? It's me. It's me. It's me. So it's always take it back to the self. It's the self. It's the self. There's nothing outside. It's not about anything external. It's about me. Take it back to you, to you, to you, to me, to me, to me. That's not, there's nothing outside. So it's not about whatsoever. It's about you. So, but that has stages, because we're still human. We are still living in this reality, and there are a lot of things that happens. And according to the right where you put your attention, you are putting your energy, so that becomes real, right? So there is all of that to take under consideration. But the thing is that it's layer after layer after layer of understanding. I am creating this reality. I'm creating my reality. Earth doesn't exist as a external. I am creating it, and I'm creating what I need of it. And then the idea of a sphere and the universe and all that, yeah, of course they exist, but not in a externalization of it. They exist internally. So layer after layer of that understanding, I create my reality. It's me, it's me, it's me. So and that understanding is growing. It's a evolution too, because right, it's not that easy to admit it. But then when you start doing it, you always have these layers of understanding coming in, and suddenly you say, oh, it's me, it's me. I'm creating it, I'm creating it, I'm creating it. So when I am reading a book, there is the understanding. Of course, someone wrote the book. There is a book, right? There is a Jane Austen. There is Shakespeare. There is Manzoni. There is all, right? All these people, they are real. They do exist. They wrote books. However, what I am reading, the story I am reading, it's my creation. Because it cannot be in any other way. The book doesn't exist externally, the book exists internally. So the story I am reading, the show I am watching, I am creating it, and obviously I am attracting it. So it's something that, right, it's how it works. It's by attraction, but I am interpreting it. So I am interpreting it right through me, through my creation. So that even that, right, even those things, we are creating those things. They are not external. They don't exist externally. Energy follows awareness. It means that the book exists when I say it exists. How many books are out there in creation that I have no idea of? Do they exist? Of course they do exist, but not in my reality. So in my reality, they're not here now. They are in someone else's reality, and they do exist, right? But there is an infinite creation, so there is an infinite access to those things. And I don't have to care about that because it's not mine. It's not here and now. What I am giving energy, it's my creation. It's my here and now. So then that is the understanding. So then there is this question mark. As I am creating it, what am I exactly creating? So then the answer is not that simple, because there is not just one creation, or I mean, there isn't just one kind of stories, and we do that in the moment. As we are creator beings and that we are here to have experiences, we imagine that, well, we may have resting point, or I'm resting, so this has no importance, or I'm just taking this moment out, it's no important. Well, no, I'm creating it. Obviously it's important in the sense that I'm creating it, so I'm creating it for myself. So obviously there is stuff that I'm creating for me in the moment. So it's not a off moment, it's always a moment. No, why won't you? Right? It's just, but so that everything is related to me. Everything that is here and now with me in this moment is related with me. It cannot be in any other way. I'm creating it. So when it comes to these stories, they will have a relationship with the self, but that relationship, it's up to the self to understand and to see. Sometimes is simply that you are using it to awaken a emotion, a understanding of the self. Other times you are using it for something else, and other time you are using it to awaken some memories. And so this is the same. I'm using this story to awaken a understanding of the self. But an understanding of creation, understanding, right? I'm discovering myself. It's part of the discovery. So obviously it's there for me to use as a understanding. What am I going to do with that? Hi, Roxy. What am I going to do with that? Nothing. There is nothing that I need to do. What I am here to say is simply this. How many layers of understanding of I am a creator? It's never ending. It's never ending. And for me, it's still something that I am discovering. And the more I advance, the more I see that all of it, right? But the understanding of all of it, it's layers of layers of layers of understanding. There is no ending to it, because it's the acceptance and the understanding of all of it. And it's the understanding of, I have to take it back to the self. I have to take it back to the self. It's me, it's me, it's me. And this is a huge discovery for a human being that has the habit of externalizing reality. The understanding nothing exists outside of me. Fuck, everything looks like being outside. Well, yeah, that's how it looks like, right? Yeah, but that's the illusion. And that's done on purpose, right? In the sense that if we weren't with this externalized vision of reality, it will be much more difficult to sustain the illusion of externalization. This is how it works, like. So we need that, because that is part of the game. So to go back to the inside, well, obviously, as we are built for externalizing, well, internalizing is a path in itself. It's a discovery, a huge discovery. So yeah, great. But there are no limits. That's the thing. It's the I am, it's the illimited reality that we are, that is the thing, right? There is no limit to creation. There is no limit to the self. There is absolutely no limit. And whatever we perceive to be, and whatever we perceive creation to be, that reality to be, we are far away from understanding it, because it's the infinite of it. How can something that looks like how do you say, limited, to understand no limits, infinite? It's quite mind-blowing, right? But we don't have to try, even, because we do not need to try. But that's only to give the idea of how huge we are, and that's all we need to know, because we don't need to understand it, because we're not built for that, right? I don't think that it's really something that we can have straight away like that. We may get there, right? We will get there. Obviously, yes, that's part of ascension, that's part of our evolution, but it's not something that we have to grasp right now. Right now, it's just not, right now, it's not that moment, right? It's another moment. But it's so. It is so. Creation has no limit. So what we are creating for ourselves is us. It's the creator watching itself. Literally. I'm watching a story. I'm reading a story. I'm watching it on a TV show, Chinese TV show, and I'm watching myself. That's the realization. That's creation. Right. And that's the video. And that's the story. And that's the ongoing story. And yeah, I wanted to share that with you today. So now it's time to go and cook dinner, because it's time to cook dinner. Well, it's already cooked, actually. It's the risotto I've done yesterday, and it's very good when you yeah, to eat it the next day. It's very good. I love it. All right. I love you, and I really appreciate you being here right now. And I will see you in the next now. Right? Bye. When I find how to get out of here.